What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is the Rapl. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Odysseus, also known as Ulysses. Apparently, Ulysses is Latin for Odysseus. You learn something new every day, but maybe not on this day, because I technically learned this maybe last month or the month before, maybe the month after that, or maybe the month before. I don't know. Neither here nor there. We've got a titanic matchup for you. Zeus versus Odin on Oasis, with two of the strongest Age of Mythology Titans players currently playing the game. I believe Odysseus, Ulysses, is one of the most underrated Titans players currently playing the game. I think that if he played more games, he would easily be in the top 3 of the ladder, if not just simply holding the top spot. I think he's got a lot of very, very cool and different things that he can do. And he's a very, very multi-god talent. A multi-god talent. That is what he is. Now, Rapl's been having a lot of games against Poseidon. He's been having a lot of games against Isis and Ra. Not so much against Zeus. So we'll see what he has in store for his Zeus opponent here. Right now, he's got a lot of goat left, and I believe he cast himself Great Hunt already over here on these zebra. So let's check the map out. The map is always going to indicate quite a lot of stuff that is going to happen in this game. Over here, we've got the 3 giraffe, 3 gazelle spawn. The max spawn you can have of food here is 5 giraffe. This is 150 food less than the max spawn. So this is going to be a very, very high hunt map here for both players. And it's all going to come down to whether or not each player can harass their opponent's hunt well enough to slow down any sort of aggression. The thing about it, though, is currently Rapl's gold mine is beautifully placed here. There is a fantastic tree line here. There is a tower here, a tower here. And Athena Rush is not going to be the answer for Ulysses in this game. I will refer to him as Ulysses. That's the name he's gone by for all eternity. So, yes. Fantastic defensive map for Rapl. What is not fantastic and defensive about this map is the fact that his second gold mine and subsequently a potential second gold mine are both right next to each other. We do have a gold mine over this side of the map, but it's so easy to prevent Rapl from getting this one. So this sort of a spawn here for Odysseus is indicative of a potential semi-fast mythic gold staff here for Zeus. Zeus going for Hera in this matchup to try and hit a gold staff on the second gold mine can be absolutely brutal. We'll see what these guys are going to be going for here. If we jump over to Ulysses' perspective, he is advancing to the second age. He is going through Athena. There is no reason to think that this means that Ulysses is going to go all out classical fight. One option for Ulysses is to simply just go for 1 military academy, 1 archery range, 85 supply, semi-fast heroic into the mythic age. That works. That's good, because you're going to be able to win the early stage. You're going to be able to push your opponent off this hunt, at least prevent him from getting this hunt early on, which is what you want, and then move on from there. We do see that Rapl has got 2 zebra left in his base right now, and he's going to have to deal with that. He's going to have to move somewhere else. We've got the Katoskopos grabbing some more goat for himself. Meanwhile, the Ulfsarks are already out for Rapl. Already out for Rapl. He's going to be moving in over onto this location, going to be putting some pressure on. Double Ulfsark. I love this play from Rapl, as Rapl is now on the way through to Freya here, who is just harassing these villagers, and Ulysses is actually being distracted quite a bit by this, and I don't think that he should really be even bothering with chasing these Ulfsark around. Just leave the Minotaur here for a hot second, and you can be completely fine. We do see a nice forest fire onto this location, but 50 wood forest fire. It's a 50 wood forest fire because there's already a storage house over there. These villagers are just going to move over onto this wood location here. We're still getting military academy archery range up. So this is technically the Athena rush variant, but a defensive Athena play here for Odysseus. Thus far, he's defended his hunt. He's still got these berries. He can move over onto this location, be completely fine here. We are seeing now Rapl moving to his second hunt. This is key here for Ulysses. He needs to get some sort of damage done onto this location. Otherwise, Rapl is going to have a fantastic time in this game. We do see the Odysseus going to be chasing these Ulfsark away as the Ulfsark running into Ulysses' base here. We now have the Valkyrie coming in. Normally we see a bolt on this, but as the meta develops, I believe Zeus players are going to realize that they should be devoting time into repelling the Valkyrie with the Jason and saving that bolt for the initial Frost Giant. It's so important to do that, and that is basically what we're seeing here from Ulysses right now. However, Ulysses is not putting the pressure onto the hunt over here. He knows that there's hunt over here. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't know that there's villagers here, but he should have a pretty clear idea. Where is he heading? The units are marching forward. Let's see what Rapl has in store for him. Rapl's got Herser throwing axemen. I've said this before. This is the counter to the Athena rush. Herser throwing axemen, so hard to crack with the hoplite Toxotes, and he's going to be trying to make a move in here. We currently see the Jason and Minotaur being distracted by simply two Ulfsarks and a Valkyrie. Rapl's in a great position here. Odysseus, Ulysses is sitting in on this location, going to be pushing these throwing axemen away. And we'll see how this is all going as now the Herser are swinging around here. The throwing axemen have to pull back. You can fight this in cast restoration. It is completely worth it here in this situation to do so. But Ulysses is opting to retreat and maybe saving that restoration for a rainy day. Meanwhile, we do have some raids coming over here, but they are getting defended. Ulysses has got the Gold Lion relic as well. This is such a brutal relic here, especially with the addition of Zeus to be had in this matchup because it gives you such an edge early. Meanwhile, we're still seeing this Raven just flying overhead, checking on that gold mine periodically. We've got the Valkyrie still in on this location. It's now the raiding cavalry will start looking for some raids. An easy play around this is to simply just wall here, finish this housing wall, and wall over here, and you will be very, very safe from those raiding cavalry raids. We are now seeing Ulysses making a move forward with his units. He's allowed Rapl to hunt for quite a while here as Rapl is getting close to that 85 supply situation that he wants to be in. And now we're seeing Ulysses moving forward. He might choose to try and take down the longhouse. It's a bit of a distraction here from Rapl. I don't think that Rapl is going to care too much about losing this longhouse. If he loses it, totally fine. This is just a complete distraction here as we're now seeing the raiding cavalry are going to be returning back home as the Jason is still sitting at home. We do have the medium raiders now out for Rapl. Is Rapl thinking about going to the next age is the question. He's still making units from all three of his longhouses, turning around and trying to get a couple of throws away with those throwing axemen. But as he turns and tries to do this kind of shoot and scoot micro, he takes a lot of damage from those Toxotes. And there's the bolt there onto that Valkyrie. If he was going to bolt it, he probably should have bolted it 3 minutes ago. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it got a lot of value here. Now the Minotaur getting a lot of damage done onto it with those Herser. The Minotaur going to be retreating away. We'll see if it heals back up to full HP. Not quite up to full HP as the Herser going to hit it just a little bit more. The raiding cavalry returning back onto this location as Rapl's now 78 supply to Ulysses 71 supply. But Ulysses, he needs to get those Toxotes to kill the Herser here. Once he kills those Herser, this Minotaur is going to be really, really strong here in these fights. But he keeps retreating it. I actually think that given the heroes on this location, the two lions and the fact he's got this Minotaur, I feel like he probably could have stayed there and kept fighting that one with just a little bit of micro, but choosing not to do so. Ulysses 71 supply, Rapl 79 supply. So Rapl with a big advantage coming out of that. didn't use any God powers. 2 God powers down the toilet now for Ulysses, as he's going to continue to try and return back in onto this location. We see Rapl getting focused down here. He will lose 1 raiding cavalry now as he's starting to make some Valkyrie. This is a very risky move here from Rapl, making those Valkyrie, because you can see Rapl does have 400 food in the bank, but he will be running out of gold. He will be running out of food. So not choosing to cut military as soon as he won that fight means Rapl is confident that he can hold a second gold mine. And that's what he's going to be going for. I imagine these dwarves and villager will move up onto this gold mine and be completely fine here. But this will be a tough one for him, and we are seeing a second Valkyrie out now going after that Minotaur, as the Jason and the Odysseus not really able to do all too much. The Toxoid is currently focusing down those raiders instead of the throwing axemen, and it is looking as if Ulysses is losing on this front currently, as those throwing axemen doing so much damage here. The Minotaur picked off, the Valkyrie returning back in over here. The units retreating away. We see the Golden Lions are back in. That Odysseus trying to target down the Valkyrie. Nice micro from Rapl here as he's continuing to push Ulysses away. 90 population for Rapl. Ulysses at 78 supply. We're seeing more units streaming in here. We've got 2 military academies, 2 archery ranges. Ulysses is going all in on the classical age here, trying to keep Rapl at bay. Rapl with 500 food in the bank, currently auto queuing out Valkyrie. He's going to have so many Valkyrie, and that really, really helps in the classical age against the Athena army of the Zeus opponent, because they've only got access to 2 heroes. So if you get a couple of Valkyrie out, you can kind of kite around and be completely fine here. We're now seeing the army coming back over onto this longhouse here, allowing Rapl to get this gold. Rapl has to be aware that there is a potential second gold mine going on here. If at about 10 minutes is when my spidey senses start tingling for whether or not I should be checking for a second gold mine or not. But Ulysses is really not doing that one, as now he's going to be trying to retreat away, actually, as there's so many units here. But how many hoplite are actually here? We've got 7 hoplite, so the hoplite can trade fairly well against those raiding cavalry, but I'm not sure Ulysses has a good answer for those Valkyrie at this point, as Ulysses is continuously trying to kite away here. This Valkyrie here is kind of distracting just a little bit, going to be keeping itself alive with 52 HP. Can heal that one back up with a secondary Valkyrie if he so chooses, but Ulysses on the back foot, and I imagine Rapl now, he's going to be cutting units. He's getting himself medium infantry. He has his armory up, and he is ready to go to the heroic age. He could actually choose to go either Njord for a quick win here, or Skadi at this point, because he is so far ahead in this game. And those throwing axemen getting some big damage done onto each of these hoplites, taking them down so very, very nicely. But Minotaur is out. You can take the Minotaur down very, very easily with these Valkyries. It's a really good substitute for the Hearser, as Rapl now, he stopped producing units, but he will be able to click up to the heroic age. And Ulysses, on the other hand, he is really hardcore losing that fight. He's at 89 of 115 supply. So I actually leveled the supply, but Rapl is clicking up. He's going through Skadi. He's going to get those units started again, and he's now throwing down the worst farms I've currently ever seen. This farm here blocks this spot and also makes this, well, actually this farm's going to be completely fine to go here, but you just got to put a little bit of effort into farm placement. It doesn't take a lot of time. Just spend an extra 2 seconds placing all your farms. Just do it. Just do it. That's got to be what you do. And now Ulysses has got his, he knows something is up here. He knows he needs to put some pressure on, as he is very, very far behind in terms of the military kill-death situation here. So even though he's got fairly equal military right now, Ulysses is nearly 115 supply. Rapl is on the way to the next stage. He's got 30 favor in the bank for an extra Frost Giant, so we will be getting some Frost Giants. We are going to be seeing a couple of villager kills here, though, for Ulysses, which is going to be very, very big for him. In fact, we might see all of these villagers falling here, as now the gold mine for Ulysses is just about to run out. He is already over on this gold mine, so nice play there. But the gold lions over here going to be still doing some nice niceties, as we do see some wooden walls now coming up for Rapl. The longhouse over here is getting taken down, but Skadi has come through, and we do see an immediate frost onto the army. This is going to be another full kill here for Rapl, and he could then start raiding with these Valkyries if he so chose, and we are seeing him utilize that Valkyrie healing ability. It is 7.5 HP a second. And he's now going to be moving all his units in. There's another Frost Giant. We don't see a hill fort anywhere just yet, but another Frost Giant will be making its way in. We've got heavy infantry coming through as well. Not enough favor for the what's it called? The axe. I forget what it's called. Hunter's Axe. Not enough favor for the Hunter's Axe. But it will be very, very strong nonetheless. So we're now seeing more damage incoming as those Toxotes are getting taken down. I think it is kind of best to do that. We are going to be seeing Ulysses attempt to retreat away. He's going to be losing a lot of these units on his retreat path here, as Ulysses is trying to get to the next age. He must know that his only real win condition here is to kind of get to the mythic age, but he's going for a second town center. There's no way he's going to get to the heroic age here. The throwing axemen are so very, very strong at this point with their heavy infantry. Plus that Hunter's Axe, when that comes in, can be very, very strong. We do see the Labyrinth of Minos is coming through here to make those Bull Minotaurs cheaper and stronger, but honestly, myth units are not the answer against Frost Giants. They just target them down and kill them very, very easily. Meanwhile, we're seeing a second Town Center coming up for Rapl as well, as he's ready to start harassing Ulysses' villages over here. We've got 4 of those gold villages there, but Rapl does miss them as he's running past. He sees the storehouse. We see the villagers attempting to retreat away here. We might be seeing at least 1 kill, if not more. And there's also wood villages over here, which Rapl can take down, as Ulysses now pushing over here, going to put some pressure onto this town center. Doesn't want to allow Rapl to just get that one just yet. The hoplites are tasked over here, but if he does that, those throwing axemen will just get pulled off and start taking him down very, very quickly. Nice micro over here by Rapl. He does manage to freeze that Bull Minotaur as the Jason is going after his Frost Giant. So nice play there, but the throwing action pulled off of the town center. 1 has remained to build this up, and all of those hoplites will be falling. Meanwhile, villagers falling left, right, and center. We see heavy raiders coming through, heavy cavalry coming through for Rapl as well, as he's starting to decimate the economy of Ulysses, who's now lost yet another army, it seems. The Minotaur doing some good work, but another Frost Giant is walking in here to push Ulysses away from this location. Rapple's got 17 favor in the bank currently. He's got 2 Frost Giants out. He is going to have to retreat away from this location. Rapple's got a lot of units kind of sitting away from here, but now he's killing off straggler units, and that's going to prevent the reinforcements from getting over here. We see 1 throwing axe. I'm going to sneaky try and get up this this settlement while this fight is still ensuing. The Frost Giants now in. The heavy raiders are taking down those Toxotes absolutely beautifully here. And it's looking as if Rapl will, in the end, get this town center up. 2,800 HP there. The hoplites get onto it too late. Going to be trying to get away from this, but they will all be falling to the raiders that are coming through. These are not just your average raider either. They are Thundering Hooves raiders, and in that moment, Ulysses does decide to tap out. Too far behind here. Ulysses not really sticking to the game plan that I thought would have been the best thing to have to use here in this matchup. And I do think that it's important to understand how you go about it. And I do think that 85 supply is the magic number. That's where you have the advantage. I think you have to use an early restoration against Odin. You've got to get that early value of that restoration if that's the strategy you're going for in order to win this matchup. Because you get that restoration, you push off the hunt, your opponent is slightly behind, you get to 85 supply, you can hold any kind of push that your opponent's going to be trying to put onto you. You're in your base anyways, they're not going to be able to do much. You've got all those herdables you're going to eat. You're going to get to that heroic age, you're going to get to that mythic age. You can buy away to the mythic age if you need it. Going to cast Lightning Storm and hit the second gold mine with an Underworld. And that's the strategy here for this situation, in my opinion, for Zeus. But Ulysses goes for something different. Doesn't quite work out. Rapl really played this one well. Very nice start getting out those hearse, getting out those throwing axemen early, scared Ulysses off quite a lot. The early harass on that food was absolutely delicious, and that was the game. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.